Hey guys, it's Alexander Dahl with Manifest Vitality once again. So we're getting started on the next wave of interviews here. So we're going to go ahead and just dive straight into that. No reason to postpone it. Here you go. All right, so I'm on the phone with Colin. He's one of the musicians that reached out about my interview project. And so I'll go ahead and give him the chance to introduce himself.
What's up? My name is Colin, but people know me as KtheIllest. I rap. I usually just go as K, but I'm a rapper out of New York. I live in Rockaway, Queens, and I'm really into old school type of rap, but I listen to mostly everything as far as hip hop goes. And yeah, I'm just an aspiring rapper, I guess you could say.
Awesome. So, give me a little bit of background about how you first identified with music. Like, what was it? What was it? An event or something that just kind of peaked into you and made you realize that you wanted to be affiliated with music?
Actually, it wasn't really an event, but I've always loved music. It sounds so like everyone says this, but I've always loved music before I even discovered rap. And I remember around when I was, I don't know, like 10, 11, 12, I heard Drake's song Forever with like Kanye, Lil Wayne, and Eminem. And I heard Eminem's verse, and it was so crazy the way he was rhyming. And I remember I would go on YouTube and I would type in like top 10 rappers because I was like, what is this? Like I never like even like imagined that rappers could rap like that.
Mm-hmm.
So the a few people I found out that were like, the best of all time were Biggie, Nas, Big L, people like that,
Mm-hmm.
and Tupac and Jay Z and everybody like that. And I remember I typed in like Big L freestyle just randomly because I had no clue who he was. I just saw him in a bunch of like top 10 rappers videos. And I remember hearing this thing. It was called the 98 freestyle. And when I was at this time, I was like 12, and that blew my mind. Especially then when I discovered I another video was recommended. It was a freestyle he did with Jay Z,
Mm-hmm.
and the way he rapped, he said this one thing that literally, like to this day, it gives me chills. He said, "I'm that you expect to catch wreck on any cassette deck. I'm so ahead of my time. My parents haven't even met yet." And he just kept rhyming these incredible rhymes over and over again, and just the everything about it blew my mind to the point that I'm like, okay, I want to do, I want to do this. And then I started discovering Nas, and then I discovered Biggie, and then people like I don't know MF Doom, Jay Z. Like I after that, I just went, I went crazy with it because yeah, the biggest inspiration for me was Big L because he's the one that really like blew my mind at first.
Very
So yeah,
cool.
that's how I got into music, at least rap music for the most part.
Sure, sure. So when you kind of decided that you were gonna set on that path, that was it was what you wanted to do. How did you start like honing your craft? Did you start like writing your own raps? Did you start kind of making your own instrumentals? Like, what was your process so you could express yourself?
Well, for sure, I started writing, and I just came to this realization a while ago that I've been literally writing lyrics for like 10 years, over 10 years, because I'm 22 now, and I know I started at least 11. So I was just writing, but I wasn't writing like full verses. I would just like scribble a few things here and there. And I remember writing my first verse, and I'll give it's called on my YouTube channel, which I'll give everything later. It's called the Keep It Real remix because the Big L 95 freestyle or whatever with Jay Z, that was the beat they used, the Milk Bone Keep It Real.
Mm-hmm.
So that was that freestyle I did was the first verse I ever wrote. I polished it later and everything, but I remember like it was mostly just scribbling like rhymes here and there, and then eventually like I realized that I don't have an actual like verse that if somebody asked me I could rap, and that was like kind of like why don't I have that? So then I actually started like writing the rhymes, like very like crafting them, and at first I sucked, but after a while, I was very surprised, and a lot of people around me were very surprised how actually good I am at actually writing and rhyming. And at first, I started recording myself at home, and for the first 2 years, it sounded terrible. And I just recently, like, I've had this problem that I keep trying to fit too many bars, or not bars, words into bars, and like I feel like I just am finding my sound right now.
Hmm. Okay.
So what I do is, I don't really produce, even though I've tried and I'm trying to learn. But for the most part, I write my lyrics, I record them at home, in my closet, and then I mix them. And um, I've made a few videos, even though they're not that good. The Keep
Hmm.
It Real, I have a video to that, and I edited that. So I try to be as self-sufficient as possible.
Okay. And when you say that you record them and mix them, are you talking about just like vocals and then backing tracks, or are you actually also developing the music as well?
Uh, I I've mixed the instrumental once,
Hmm.
and but I'm trying, because before that I would like literally download the beat off of YouTube, and then I would just record over it, so I didn't have like, I had to make my voice louder than the actual beat, or else it wouldn't fit
Mm,
within the
sure.
mix. So when I got um I'm working with this one producer who's super dope. His name is 64 MDM,
Hmm.
and he actually sent me the stems. So that was the first time I actually got experience working with stems,
Hmm.
and it was very like, the piano was very, it took up a lot of space in the mix. So
Hmm.
I did what I could. I think it still sounds dope, but I have a lot to learn. I think
Sure.
as far as mixing vocals, I'm getting very good, but I still need to learn how to mix like beats and stuff. But
Sure.
yeah, I'm getting better. It's a work in process. I'm still figuring everything out.
So as you kind of develop like your voice and then leaning into the kind of music that you want, what do you think is going to be kind of like a good avenue that you want to like represent yourself on? Like what would you say your brand is?
My brand, um, I I ask myself that question a lot, and I feel like I'm still figuring out, because I want my brand, first off, to be myself,
Hmm.
but exactly, I want my brand to be, because I'm Polish, and I feel like I want to put, like, there aren't a lot of rappers that I feel like are like, people don't know Polish rappers, so I want to put
Hmm.
like Poland on the map, and I want to just be this like, um this white kid who had no business at all,
Hmm.
um loving hip hop, and just, falling in love with the old school, and then developing his own style, and just being like crazy dope, like undeniably dope.
Sure. So would you like once you do kind of start getting songs and more production together, do you think you would lean more towards like releasing like the classic collection of songs as an album, or do you think you would kind of push them out more of a trickle, like doing digital releases?
For now, definitely digital, because right now I don't care about anything besides getting heard.
Hmm.
Everything right now I feel is like an investment. So I've thought about an album, because a lot of like, I want people to look back and listen to like my first album, and it be like super like really dope, and then people catch on to it later.
Hmm.
But at the same time, I just want to push a single out every week,
Hmm.
and like promote it, then put another one out, and just like keep being consistent.
Sure.
And for an album, I feel like an album is like, once you make an album, it has to be like crafted like perfectly, because I don't
Sure.
want to just like bullshit an album. So as much as I want to record an album, and I even like, I always, because I really like vinyls and stuff, I would want to make like a vinyl, and like sweatshirts and stuff like
Mhm.
that. But I don't know if that's the best investment right now. But I would love to, if I have the opportunity.
Awesome. So, while you've been working on music and developing like relationships with producers and things like that, what are a couple standout moments to you that really kind of made you think, okay, I'm going to keep doing this. I'm in the right place. This is going to work out?
I would say when I dropped this one song over a year ago. It's called Toxic, and it's about toxic people in general. And when I was recording it, because that was like the very beginning, that was the first song that I wrote and did everything to. But before that, I was just like recording freestyles. I had such a rough time mixing that and writing it and everything that when I finally released it, I hated it, but everyone else loved it. And
Mhm.
like kind of like the people coming together and supporting it like really felt good.
Mhm.
And after a few months, I actually now I love the song. But back then, because I put so much time into it and I overthought it, um, I came to a point that I hated it.
Mhm.
And also, I recorded that was one big moment. And recently, I dropped a song that was very personal. It's called Life. It's a J Dilla beat, and I just wrote over a classic beat.
Mhm.
And that song was so personal that people literally wrote to me and said, like, this song like really moved them, and it really helped them like in their situation. And they were like thanking me for being vulnerable. I'm
Awesome.
like, okay, this is like by far the best part is like
Mhm.
that. I never thought that, like, I always hear other artists talk about this, but the fact that I'm right now, I feel like I'm nobody, but still the song that has right now like 800 views on YouTube, like, it's reaching people, and it actually like at the very least it makes people feel something.
Yeah, that's great.
And that is like a great feeling.
Definitely. Yeah. So, as you kind of continue to build your presence and everything, what are like some of your end goals? Like you kind of mentioned, getting to the point where you can like handcraft an album and put like the extra conceptual work into it. But beyond that, where do you see yourself in 5, 10 years? What would be the satisfactory outcome of you putting so much love and energy into your music?
Um, I think, uh, I mean, the goal, the end goal is world domination, pretty much. But
Of course.
um, I feel like an accomplishment enough would be just when I post my stuff and like I see it there and it's like a finished product and I see people listening to it and reacting to it like that. That's like the win for me. Like sometimes I say sometimes that I feel like I've already won because I've discovered like at a very very early age what I want to do,
Hmm.
and I'm able to do it even though, or no matter how much frustration I can go through sometimes when I'm trying to record and get the sound I want. Like once it's out there and the song is finished and it sounds amazing and I love it, like that's the win. But
Definitely.
to answer your question, in 10 years, I want to, I want to have a lot of songs on my on Spotify and stuff, and I want to have a lot of shit that I own myself, and I just don't want to sell anything. I want it all to be mine, like to no label or anything. I just want it. I just want to be my own boss, and I
Sure.
just want to sit back and watch, um, I guess, money come in or views come in from the music.
Sure. Yeah. And
But
these
right now,
days,
it's all
that's
an investment.
absolutely possible. You can definitely self produce, self promote, self publish. Like, you can
Yeah,
do all that yourself.
yeah, that's the goal.
Awesome.
Oh,
Very cool.
one more thing to answer your question. The goal is to be make very popular music,
Hmm.
but at the same time keep my integrity.
Sure.
That's very important to me. I always want to keep my integrity.
Absolutely. Yeah. Awesome. Well, why don't you put out some plugs of where people can check out some stuff that you have out there?
Um, well, so I'm on pretty much everything. I have TuneCore, so I'm on Apple Music, on Spotify, on anything you can think of, and my YouTube account or my YouTube account is KtheIllest. My Instagram is KtheIllest, but instead of THE is DA as the, so KDAILLEST
Hmm.
on Instagram, and I'm on SoundCloud. I'm on pretty much everything. Anywhere I can post my music. I'm on Bandcamp. Anywhere you can post your music, I've posted it to.
All right. So, what I like to do is I like to give the person I'm interviewing essentially the last word. So, a message that kind of resonates to you that you want to put out there and have identified with you.
I would say, um, stop caring what other people think, just as long as you are happy with you. Because I feel like too many people adjust to how other people want them to be, and whoever you are will get you a lot farther than what's what is cool to be. And be vulnerable. Never, lie about who you are. Just be 100% vulnerable, and people will relate and respect you for it.